Gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Vaughn Radio.
This is Vaughn Radio, and you're listening to the show with no name. Time for liftoff. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Come on, I can't wait. Let's go.
4, 3.
Countdown
2,
faster, man.
1.
Come on.
0. Ignition.
You need a little help?
Liftoff.
Here you go.
Liftoff.
Some electricity. Come on. Yes. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. Let's go. Show with no name. All right, amigos, the dog days of summer. Vamos, los días más calurosos del verano, the dog days of summer. But don't tell that to the cat. No way. The cat's not going to be too happy about the dog days of summer. Folks, I hope you are excited for today's show with no name. We've got an amazing program lined up for you today. We're going to learn, we're going to laugh, we're going to play, we're going to do a little bit of everything here on the show with no name. Show with no namers of the world. Unite. It's time to bring the magic. Yeah. And that magic is courtesy of my Show with No Namers. Thank you, Show with No Namers, for bringing the magic every single day here. Thank you. Thank you for learning and laughing with us, not just with me, but with my buddy Fitz and his program, No Excuses, which you can always listen to this program, No Excuses, right before the show with no name. So it's a great way to make sure you guys are warmed up, calentitos, that you're warmed up, and that you are ready to rock. And knowing you guys, you're definitely ready to rock. Welcome, amigos. Welcome. All right, show with no namers. What's up? What's up? I hope you guys are ready for an exciting show today. And we're going to start off with a surprise. As many of you guys know, my podcast For Your Inglés recently reached a couple milestones. What are those milestones? Good question. Well, those milestones are as follows. And those milestones are that we hit, are you ready for this? 500,000, now way over. And we're at now 510,000. I mean, we've already gone up 10,000 from the 500,000 mark. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And recently, I released what is our 250th episode for the general public. And what does that mean? Well, that just means that there are 2 episodes every week. So if you do the math, that means there are around 500 episodes. And we got a special greeting from one of your fellow students. Let's hear from her right now.
congratulations and celebrations when you tell us this is 250. Congratulations and jubilations. You wonder what to know you're happiest you can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, your fellow student, Chris Valrol. Thank you so much for that amazing song, Chris Valrol. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. But that's not going to get you out of today's challenges. So let's kick off with today's pop quiz. Let's go. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Pop quiz, 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 quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Get excited. Pop quiz. Get psyched. Get pumped. Come on. Hands up. This is like a roller coaster. No holding on. There's no lap bar in life. A lap bar. La barra que cubre tu cuando te sientas. You got your shoulder harness and your lap bar. And folks, life doesn't come with a shoulder harness or a lap bar. All right, are you ready for your first challenge? This comes from my good buddy Kyle Miller and his program Drive Time. And here we go, folks. Translate this for me. Según él, deberías haberlo buscado. I just changed the verb. And I don't want you to use look for. Toma. Okay? So, según él, deberías haberlo hecho. But I've just given you a little bit of a handicap here and said you can't use the very common look for. I want you to use another way to say it. And remember, if you want to learn with Kyle every day, you can do so on the Drive Time show. Según él, deberías haberlo. What was the word I said? Haberlo buscado. That's the word. But I don't want look for as the verb. That is from my buddy Kyle Miller. Again, he also has a book, and his book is absolutely amazing. It's the Business English book. And speaking of books, I hope all of you have gotten my latest book. This book is The Shit.
Alberto, viene Tom Cruise al hormiguero y tengo que decirle una cosa. Tengo que decirle, vamos al lío. ¿Cómo se lo digo?
Vamos al lío, tío. Eso es facilísimo. Piensa en la canción de DJ Tiesto. Let's get down
to business.
Give me
One more time together.
Let's get down
to business. Let's get down to business. Ah, lo sabía, pero no sabía que lo sabía. Aprende inglés con canciones, películas, videojuegos, series, personajes, onomatopeyas. Todas las cosas que te rodean están en inglés, pero no te das cuenta de que ya las tienes en la cabeza. Solamente hay que colocarlas. Y para eso, utiliza nuestro tercer libro, This Book is the Shit, por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
Oh, yeah. All right, amigos. Let's go on over to our virtual chat room. That's right, folks. We meet every day here for an exciting English class. And let's see who is in attendance today. It's a star-studded event. Lleno de estrellas. That's right. Bring in their magic. And the first star to join us, he is from another galaxy, indeed, the one and only Don Diego. My dad, he says, good morning, Alberto, friends and family. Greetings from Greenwood Lake, New York. What's up, Dad? Welcome aboard. And I know for a fact, guys, that my dad was up an hour ago getting ready for the show today. So I know he's ready. There's no doubt in my mind. We even did a countdown Una cuenta atrás. There's Kubla. He says, how's everything? Enjoyable, ladies and gents. Since we mean business, eat en serio, let AA throw at us any mind-bending challenge. We'll attempt to rise to the occasion. I know it, Kubla. There's no doubt in my mind. Laura says, good morning, gorgeous show with no namers. Let's bring some magic to our day with our favorite teacher in the whole wide world, AA. Hey, Laura, you're a poet and you didn't even know it. Yeah, to have a nice day with AA. Laura also says, what a beautiful voice, Chris. I agree. Thanks again, Chris. Definitely one of the most original greetings I've received throughout the year. So thank you for being a show with no namer and an FYI-er. If you haven't listened to the episode on Freddie Mercury, you got to give it a listen. I'm getting a lot of great feedback on that one. All right, let's see. Who else is on board? All right, Kubla and Laura, a bunch of people taking a stab at our pop quiz. Let's see. So the translation that Kyle gave us was, según él, deberías haberlo hecho. No, well, that's what Kyle said. I said, deberías haberlo buscado. All right, Kubla says, according to him, you should have looked it up. Yes. Now, this is buscar. This is buscar muy específico. En una guía, en internet, en un diccionario. Consultar, buscar. I always say this one is. So great. According to him, según él, you should have looked it up. And I want to look at that you should have. Okay? Why? We use it pretty often. You should have known it. I should have known better than to take a friend. Waste the chance that I couldn't give up. So yes, folks, should have. In English, we have the expression shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. Cuando alguien dice, oh man, I should have come to your party yesterday. Debería haber ido a tu fiesta. Yeah, shoulda, coulda, wouldn't. So technically, it should have, could have, and would have, plus the participle, la tercera columna. However, Americans say should have. You should have taken that into consideration. You should have gone to my party yesterday. You should have seen the game. It was amazing, right? So Americans, instead of should, el apóstrofe VE sounds like of. Y te digo algo, hasta se corta más a shoulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Doesn't even sound like English, does it? A good way to practice the should have, I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry I didn't. I want you guys to do this out loud with me. So, I'm sorry I didn't begin the class on time. Deberías haberlo empezado a tiempo. How would you say that? I'm sorry I didn't begin the class on time. I want you to say it aloud. I'm not interested in how you spell it. It's the third column, right? I'm more interested in you saying these sentences aloud. Okay? You should have begun on time. You should have begun on time. I'm sorry I didn't choose you. Lo siento por no haberte elegido. I'm sorry I didn't choose you. Alberto, you should have chosen me. Deberías haberme elegido. I'm sorry I didn't fall asleep before midnight. Lo siento no haberme quedado dormido antes de la medianoche. You should have fallen, not felt, porque no es feel, felt, it's fall, fell, fallen. So you should have fallen asleep before midnight. Hey guys, I'm sorry I didn't teach you that. You should have taught it to us. Taught. I'm sorry I didn't speak Chinese yesterday in the meeting. Alberto, come on, man. Get with the program. Ponte las pilas. You should have spoken Chinese. I'm sorry I didn't hear what you said. Vamos con una negación. You should have heard what I said. So you got you should have and you shouldn't have. Okay? So I'm sorry I didn't draw you a picture. You should have drawn me a picture. I'm sorry I ate the last slice of pizza. You shouldn't have eaten the last slice of pizza, you hog. Okay? I'm sorry I didn't hold your hand. You should have held my hand, Alberto. I'm sorry I didn't win the lottery. Really, I am. You should have won the lottery. You should have won the lottery. I'm sorry I wrote your name wrong. You shouldn't have written it wrong. You should have written it correctly, right? So practice. And as always, practice aloud. So great job. Let's see. Laura says, according to him, you should have searched for it. Also correct. Also correct. Great. So to look it up, to search for something, excellent. Excellent job, amigos. There's Chris Valrol. She says, good morning. Thanks for playing mis ocurrencias, my things. I'm spending time with my Alberto's family, so I can't attend the show. I'll listen to the podcast. Don't worry, that's the good news. You can listen to all your favorite Vaughn radio programs wherever you listen to podcasts. Sure. And by the way, I think I told you this last week, but this is it. Michael Jackson, baby, this is it. This is the last week until September. So we better make the most out of all of these shows. All right. Akhilesh says, love from India. Lots of love. Lots of love to you too. Lots and lots of love. All right, so practice the should've, guys. And if you want to practice the would've, I can give you another exercise, okay? So you can ask yourself, you can have the conversation with yourself. Believe me, my daughter does it every day, and she's learning tremendously. Why didn't you come? I didn't come because I wasn't hungry. Blah, 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 blah. And she even does the voices. It works. So let's do this one. So we just practice should've. Let's practice would've. Okay, Alberto, why didn't you make time for me? ¿Por qué no hiciste un hueco para mí? I would have made time for you. Y aquí estás más difícil, porque aquí tenemos que inventarnos en el pasado participio la condición. So, I would have made you a cake if I had had batter, si hubiese tenido masa. If I had. So, la segunda parte, esto es el pasado condicional. Difícil, pero si lo practicamos en voz alta, we're not practicing should have if I had, should have if I had. Right? So, let's try another one with that one. El would have. Ahora estamos con el would have. Okay. Why didn't you take a shower yesterday? Come on, man. It smells like BO, body odor. I would have taken a shower if I had... No voy a usar had otra vez. ¿Ves? Eso es no ser creativo. Pero es lo primero que se me ocurre. I would have taken a shower if I had been home. Si hubiese estado en casa. Right? Let's do a couple more just to get the hang of it. All right. Why didn't you wear that shirt? I would have worn that shirt if it had been clean or if you had washed it. So I would have participio if you had participio. What are we learning there? We really have to know our past participles, right? Those three columns, guys. I always tell my students the three columns are the bridge, el puente, between being a beginner and mastering the language. And until you master those three columns, y no digo took, take, taken, token, taken, ticken, tukun, sing, sang, song. No, I mean master them saying them together, the usage, the pronunciation, right? And I know you guys are on the right track. Que vais por buen camino. But we've got another challenge coming up, my amigos. It's time for the Say What soundbite. Yeah. Say what? What? Yeah, that's right, folks. Say What soundbite on the show with no name. It's the Say What soundbite. Driving your brain insane. I think everybody's gonna recognize this one. This is what we call a blast from the past. A blast from the past and a blast from the past. We go really, really fast. A blast from the past. Un chute desde una ráfaga del pasado. A blast from the past es cuando algo te da nostalgia, te recuerda a otros tiempos. So if someone plays a song for you, you're like, man, oh, that song is a blast from the past. Do you want to sound totally native? All right, folks, you know how this section works. We're going to play this soundbite for you 4 times here on today's show. You'll have 4 chances to write it all down. And I think this one's going to be pretty easy, knowing your level, knowing your listening and comprehension skills. All right, well, folks, is everybody ready? This is the Say What soundbite for the first time. I hope you guys are going to love this one as much as I do.
All right. Might as well put on some music. All these weird gadgets, you think they'd give you a radio?
What would you like to hear?
What the hell was that?
Do you wish further information on Silicon Valley?
Hell no, I want to know who you are and how you're listening in.
All right. I think everybody knows that electronic voice there, that robotic voice. I just love what you guys called this show in Spanish. It takes away so much from it, I think. I mean, at least in English, the translation of what you call this show sounds ridiculous. Sounds like, I don't know. Hey, translations of titles is really not your forte here in Spain. You guys do a lot of other good things. So we'll focus on the positive, on all the good stuff that we do in Spain. Translating titles of series and movies, we got to work on that one a little bit. All right, here we go, my amigos. We are going to do it up here. This is the second listen. Everybody play too. Juega and pay close attention. This is the Say What soundbite for the second time.
All right. Might as well put on some music. All these weird gadgets, you think they'd give you a radio?
What would you like to hear?
What the hell was that?
Do you wish further information on Silicon Valley?
Hell no, I want to know who you are and how you're listening in.
All right, there you go, my amigos. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback, hearing what you heard in our Say What soundbite. And I can't freaking believe this, but we have literally, I don't know where it went. I really don't. But we have flown through the first part of today's show. And you can bet your bottom dollar, puedes apostar todo lo que tienes, that we've got more fun, more challenges, and more exciting English up ahead. So, you know how this works, right? Say it with me. I need all your energy today. You know, the summer heat. Oh, man. If I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, interactive, and you've got a plethora of different accents that you can learn from. You've got Rob Grams from the north of England. You've got Andy Vaughan with an international, what I call BBC accent. You've got Fitz with an Irish accent from Cork, County Cork. Richard Vaughan with a standard American accent, but sometimes a Texan in him comes out. Oh yeah, sometimes you can hear that Texan. And then you've got Tosh Pasqua and her Australian accent. Jules Linares with a nice, lovely British accent. The Queen's English, I would say. But without being so stuffy, yes. And we've got so many amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio, so you can learn and laugh every single day. All right, ready for another challenge? It's Homophones on the show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. Show with no name. That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name, or maybe they're not homophones. You guys are going to tell me as always. So I'm going to give you two words, and you're going to tell me A, what the words are, and B, if the two words sound exactly the same or not. The first word is a walking stick. It is also used in punishment, palmeta or vara. So baston, palmeta, vara. What else? It's also mimbre. So it's these woody stems that are used if you make wicker chairs, for the garden. And what else? Also, caña de azúcar is this word as well. So caña, vara, bastón de caramelo, si le ponemos la palabra candy por delante. All right, so as you can see, it's got a lot of different meanings. A walking stick, bastón, a rod used in punishment, palmeta or vara, It's also the verb, le castigaron con una vara, pues usarías ese verbo también, esa misma palabra. It's mimbre, and it's also caña, all right? Not caña like beer, okay? Like azúcar. All right, that's the first word that you've got. And the second word is a biblical word. It's a name from the Bible. It is the son of Adam and Eve, and it's not Abel. ¿No es capaz? No, Abel se dice Abel. So, espera, ¿me estás diciendo que Abel wasn't able? Abel no fue capaz? Yes. Right? Abel wasn't able to kill his brother. And what was his brother's name? Well, that's what I want to know. And does his brother's name sound like sugar, like a walking stick? Those are your homophones. We'll see what you guys had to say. Also, I've got to give you the Say What soundbite. This is the third listen. Please write down what you hear.
All right. Might as well put on some music. All these weird gadgets, you think they'd give you a radio?
What would you like to hear?
What the hell was that?
Do you wish further information on Silicon Valley?
Hell no, I want to know who you are and how you're listening in.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That is your Say What soundbite. And as always, you're going to hear it a total of 4 times. So let's see what you guys heard over here. We've got Kubla participating. And let's see, Kubla. Let me get a little beat going over here. Kubla says, I heard a virtual conversation among a few American dudes about an iconic high-tech veil in the Golden State. Well, it's not a few, it's a couple. But yeah, pretty spot on over there. Sure. It's a couple dudes. Un par en vez de 3 o más. Kubla says, I have trouble understanding Aussies. Yeah, it depends, if you're not used to it, like me. But after a couple minutes, your ear warms up to anything, right? All right. Also, Kubla on fire over here, participating in the homophone section. Those are the correct words. And he says they sound the same. All right. So anybody else? Or just because Kubla, if you're the only one participating, then definitely you're going to win. You don't even have to try, right? That makes it easy for you. You guys made it really easy for him. Even though you're not competing against your fellow classmates, you're competing against yourself, right? I never look, when I'm trying to write my next book or trying to do some project, I'm never looking at what the neighbor's doing. Why? Not interested, right? Well, you got to focus on what you're doing. While you're looking at the neighbor, you're not doing your things. The neighbor, the competition, if it even exists, depending on your industry. All right, so right now it looks like there's not too much competition here. Kubla's kicking butt and taking names. Oh, wait, hang on, I spoke too soon. There's Laura. She says, I heard a blast from the past. Laura, thanks for using what I just taught you. She says, a clip from a movie in which a man who just wants to listen to some music is surprised when he hears an unexpected voice coming out from the radio, or coming out of, más mejor que coming out from, porque fluye más, right? So coming out of the radio. That's Laura. Spot on. Spot on. Excellent job. All right, so it looks like we got Kubla and Laura. Also, no surprise there. They're usually the two who nail the Say What soundbite. So I got to say, I'm not surprised that these two super show with no namers are the ones who had something to say about what they heard. All right, now we've got to go back to our homophones. The first word is cane. Have you heard the word candy cane? Sure. I remember when I was a kid, we used to have candy canes on the tree. And I remember some old people would walk with a cane. Hombre, yo creo que ahí queda claro, right? And then I remember the first time I tried sugar cane, like chewing on sugar cane. That's the word cane. Also, as I said, it's a verb. I remember when I was a kid, too, they caned an American kid in Singapore. Dar con vara, to cane somebody. So it's C-A-N-E. All right. And the second word, I already told you, able is a homophone. Abel. Abel is able to do it this weekend. And what about Cain? Si te digo que Caín anduvo con bastón, would those two words sound the same? Let's see. Cain walked with a cane. Yes! Nice job, Kubla! Cain Cain walked with a cane. There you go. So Cain and Abel. Oh, and there's another one. We've been looking at a couple. Abel, Abel. Cain, bastón y Caín. Y su padre, átomo. Claro, si lo dices a la americana, there's no difference between when I say the word atom, átomo, que acabo de decir, A-T-O-M, and Adam. Adam and Eve. Átomo y Eva? No, Adán. Who knew there were so many homophones in the Bible, in the good book, ladies and gentlemen? All right. We don't want to get smited over here, so I think we're going to move on because we've got so much to do on today's show. So let's kick off today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's our Spelling Bee only on the show with no name. And as always, I'm going to spell some words for you today. And they're all related in some way. And you don't have to capitalize them today. And today, like, really, there's 6 words. Like, not 26 like I usually do. I'm like, you got 6 words. And then it's like, Juan Vasco de Gama de Cabeza de su Madre. You know, you're like, wait, that's not one word. Today, I promise, I really promise, it's going to be 6 words. They're all related in some way. And I want to see if you guys can get these words and also see how they are related, amigos. All right, let's take a look over here. This is, let me find my boxing bell. This is round 1 of today's Spelling Bee. Good luck, superstars. The first word is Filling. The second one is Cavity. The third one is Root, space. Bueno, no todos son de una. Space, Canal. The fourth one is Flossing. The fifth one is Whitening. And the last one is Gingivitis. Good luck. Good luck. Maybe this will give you a little clue as to what our Spelling Bee topic is today. Now, wait a second. Is that a drill that you use when you're putting up some paintings? Or is that a drill that a dentist would use? I wonder. All right, well, we'll see. Let's take a look over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we might have a winner here on our hands. Let's take a look. We're going to see it's Kubla participating. Kubla, you are unstoppable today. I've got to say it. Let's see if you got them all right. They look right at first glance. The first one's correct. The second one's correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one's correct. The fifth one is correct. Ooh, and the sixth one. Oh, man. Is also correct. Nice job. Also, Laura. Nice job, Laura. At the same time, 11:10 a.m. You both nailed it. Wow. Today, we have got some serious superstars here. I mean, we've always got superstars, but today, we're calling the firefighters in. Put these two out. Over here, apágales. Right here, Kubla, the guy with the Yankee jersey. And Laura, the blonde lady from Italy. Right there, they're the ones. They're the culprits. Excellent job. Wonderful job. And you guys can sit back and enjoy this second round because you kicked butt in the first one. Here's round 2. The first word is F-I-L-L-I-N-G. The second word is C-A-V-I-T-Y. The third word is R-O-O-T space C-A-N-A-L. The fourth one is F-L-O-S-S-I-N-G. The fifth one, W-H-I-T-E-N-I-N-G. And the last one is G-I-N-G-I-V-I-T-I-S. All right. There you go, my amigos. All right. As I just said, these are all words that have to do with drills. Well, a dentist drill. Because we've also got fire drills, simulacro de incendio. A drill is an exercise. If you listen to Fitz's show, what does he do with his students? Those are called drills. So that could be a quadruple trouble. Y de hecho, cuando decimos a alguien, you know the drill, venga, tú sabes cómo van las cosas. Cuando alguien te hace una pregunta como tonta y, come on, man, you know the drill. Tú sabes por dónde, yo no te tengo que decir eso. You know the drill. Y tú dices, sí, conozco el taladro. Ahí es la rutina, el ejercicio. But I know there's got to be some jokes in there somewhere. But it's not time for your joking right now. It is time to take a look at these words that we'll use if we go to the dentist's office. So today, in 1867, Harvard School of Dental Medicine was established in Boston, Massachusetts. And I know what you're thinking. So what? Yeah, I know Harvard's an Ivy League school. It's great. But, so what? Well, that was the first dental school in the United States to be affiliated with a university. And Harvard, or as they call it, Harvard. Have you ever been to Harvard? Harvard. But they say Harvard. That's the Boston accent over there. It's weird because there are certain similarities with the New York, Boston, but not really. So there are certain sounds where you're like, okay, esa es parecida, pero luego you can tell the difference instantly. I parked the car down in Harvard Yard. That's my best Boston. And New York's like, hey, what are you doing, guy? I told you not to come over there because So it's a little bit, there's certain sounds that we agree on. Also, remember, the English that's spoken on the East Coast of the United States is the most Europeanized English out there. Why? Well, half of those people who speak it, including my relatives, well, they were from Europe. So it is the most European of Englishes, which I call the most international as well. So let's take a look. Is everybody ready to go to the dentist? Did you make an appointment? Oh, no, it's an emergency. Uh-oh. All right, well, let's see what things that you can have done at the dentist's office. Remember my book, English Everywhere, my first book? There's a chapter on going to the dentist, and you can learn all this vocabulary. You can learn common expressions that have to do with teeth, which I think you guys have a similar one, to be armed to the teeth. And to be armed to the teeth means you got a lot of weapons. Que no se dice weapons, mi arma. It's weapons. Weapons. All right, the first word is filling. Filling. And I hope the show with no name is filling. Algo que te llena. It's very filling. No. Well, I had a pretty filling breakfast. But also a filling is something they put in your teeth. If you have a cavity, well, usually they'll drill the cavity and then they'll put a filling, depending on, sometimes they use metal. I don't know too much about this stuff. Cavity was our second word. Caries. You say cavities. Root canal. You say endodancia. Piénsalo. El canal de la raíz. And you're attacking a root canal. The fourth word was flossing. Flossing. Now, to floss is to clean your teeth with floss. Floss is hilo dental. So it's cool because it's easy. You floss with floss. Okay, es un verbo regular. Also, if somebody tells you in the modern vernacular, you're flossing, man, it doesn't mean you're cleaning your teeth with floss. It means you're showing off. Presumiendo. Flossing. The fifth one. This one has become, I would say, a huge trend. Una tendencia enorme. Because when I was a kid, you didn't hear much about it. And now it's teeth whitener with teeth whitening, whitening your teeth. Everything, excuse me, everything is about teeth whitening these days. So blanqueo, which is different than money laundering. Eso es otro blanqueo. And the last one, gingivitis. Gingivitis, which is a gum disease. And your gums, yeah, the word gum is chicle, but also gums are encías, and it's pluralized, obviously, unless you're just talking about one. Hey, and that could be a double trouble. Speaking of.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
Yeah. That's right, amigos. It's double trouble only on the show with no name. And we've already looked at several words here that have, what am I saying? Many meanings, right? We looked at, I think, a handful of words in the first half of the show already. All right, but let's see if you guys recognize this one. I know when I looked at this one, I love when you remember things like this. I was interviewing my friend Alvaro Quesada on the Singapore episode of FYI, For Your English, Singapore. And I was asking him about food and about eating. And I said, well, I know Singapore, you've got everything. You've got some of the best street food in the world, arguably. And you've got some of the most expensive, swanky restaurants in the whole world. So, I said to Alvaro, it must be confusing to be able to eat, for $3 some amazing meal, and also for $350. And then he said, well, the punto óptimo, and he said it in English, and I said, buenísima. El punto óptimo es como $7, but I don't remember the exact number. But I'm just giving you the context so you can see where we did it, okay? So it's not el punto óptimo. It's used a lot in business when you're trying to find the right balance. I think about it with food, and this comes from food, this expression. If you make something too sweet, I'm thinking, let's say you make candy. You're a candy maker, fabricante de caramelos. If you make it too sweet, it's sickly sweet, empalagoso. Nobody's going to want it, right? Same things. Things are good. People love salt. But if you make it too salty, no one's going to eat it. So there's this punto óptimo there where everything, para un precio, para todo. It's a really good expression to know. And you want to know what I just gave you with that little explanation? I gave you a huge hint. All right. So here's your double trouble. Genial. No, I think, this would be like genial, chachi. de madre, right? Great. Okay. Y luego la segunda frase, because that's just an exclamation, says, me alegra mucho que hemos encontrado el punto óptimo. Okay. So it's genial, chachi, guay, right? Guay, I think would be a good way to say it. Me alegra mucho que hemos encontrado el punto óptimo. That is your double trouble. As you know, you have to use the same word twice, amigos. We'll take a look at the double trouble when we come back. Plus, we've got our Say What soundbite, movies, jokes, famous birthdays. Man, we do have a lot of stuff to cover on today's show in the second half. And guys, as I said before, we are in the final stretch. Estamos en la recta final. The final stretch. Or the home stretch. Esto viene de baseball. All right, amigos, you know how it works. We'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Oh, yeah, folks. Welcome back. So much to do today. Wherever you are, whether you're lying on the beach, sipping a cup of coffee, maybe you're in the bathroom. Don't tell us what you're doing. Maybe you're in your bedroom, just chilling. O como decimos, chillaxing. I mean, let's be honest. We spend most of our time in the living room. But my favorite's the bedroom for many reasons. I won't get into detail. Well, it's nice and quiet. That's why. All right, amigos. We're here for more Show with No Name. And after today's show, don't forget you can tune into Ximena's program, Test Your English. You've also got The Salad with Dave Boys. And Kyle Miller's Drive Time. Plus, you can pick up tons of materials at our Von Tienda. It's vontienda.com. If you're looking for courses or just more information, our website is grupovon.com, or you can give us a call, 911-385831. And don't forget, you gotta follow us on social media. All right, amigos, I've got to give you the Say What soundbite. This is your Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
All right. Might as well put on some music. All these weird gadgets, you think they'd give you a radio?
What would you like to hear?
What the hell was that?
Do you wish further information on Silicon Valley?
Hell no, I want to know who you are and how you're listening in.
All right, there you go, my amigos. There you go. And it looks like we've got a winner. I just checked our chat room. Give it up for Coog. Yeah. Whoa. Nice job. Nice job. All right. Also, we've got our double trouble over here. And folks, you usually do a great job, buddy, but today is your day. You are on fire. You bring in the thunder, thunder, bringing in with the thunder, thunder. Wow, 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 wow. All right. Well, let's take a look then at our double trouble. How would we say this? Guay, chachi, sweet. In American English, two of the adjectives we use the most, trust me here, is sweet and nice. Oh, nice, sweet. Oh, nice, sweet, cool. Maybe cool is in there too. And they mean the same thing. It's like, why? You know, you're showing somebody that what they're telling you is interesting. It's wow, bien, why? Right? So nice, which also nice is majo, buena persona. Oh, nice. Thank God he's a nice person. ¿Ves? Ahí es diferentes cosas. Nice es bien. Uf, genial. Nice. At least he's a nice person. Al menos es buena gente. Okay? So nice, cool, que también es el inverso de nosotros aquí en el verano ahora. And sweet. And this sweet, you won't hear a British person say, mate, that is sweet. It's very American, but I'm American. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'll gladly stand up. Sorry, I just had a patriotic moment there. USA! USA! From sea to shining sea. I can't help it, guys. The American in me comes out from time to time, as well as the Spanish person in me and the Italian person in me. What a mix, huh? That's the first thing people say, like, Alberto, that is pretty nuts. All right, so the first part's great. Sweet. I'm so glad. Estoy muy contento. I'm so glad we found the sweet spot. So excellent job. Wow. Y os di una pista. I gave you guys a little clue, right? Didn't I say? I said the sweet. I go, remember, if something's too sweet, then it's sickly sweet. Then nobody likes, then you're like, oh, man. Right? It produces the opposite effect. So there really is a sweet spot. El punto donde es dulce, pero no te pases de dulce. And the same thing with salt. And I believe food makers, the ones who make all this processed shit that everybody eats, I try to avoid it, but I'm guilty sometimes too. But same idea there. They're always looking, why do you think those Ruffles or that Coca-Cola or all that tastes so great? Because they found the sweet spot. And the price, sweet spot as well. As I said before, it's used with prices too. Well, the sweet spot is around $10, right? Para que se venda bien. The sweet spot. And that's a homophone as well. You know it because in Spanish, you say the same word. We reserved a suite at the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas. And the view was sweet. Y la vista era chulísima. It was sweet. The one that we don't pronounce like that is traje, which is suit. And fruit, right? Oh, man, you don't know how many times. And I know that if I tell you, ¿cómo se dice traje? Y tienes que pensarlo, dices, suit. Pero no sabes. Una cosa es equivocarte cuando estás pensando y otra cosa es metido en una conversación. You're not paying attention really to the grammar. I hope not. In fact, I urge you to avoid that. When you're talking to somebody, I don't care what level you are, get out of your head and get into the conversation. That's the way it works. Get out of your head. It's not going to help you thinking, es pasado perfecto plus cuan perfecto que es. You know what's going to happen? And I hate to say it because I've seen it. It's happened to me as well. Your head explodes. You can't help it. No lo puedes evitar. So that's why you're in class. That's why I tell you to practice aloud. So the next time you have to say, have you ever been to Rome? Te sale así. No. Have you ever been in, you don't have to think about it. You've done the thinking. Just think. The reason my daughter knows whose is it is because she heard me say whose is it a million times. Do you think she knows that's 3 letters, three words? She has no idea that whose is it. She just knows she wants to identify the owner of something. She has to say whose is it? Or whose are they if it's more than one? But there's no grammar involved. So that's why sometimes, that was something when I moved to Spain and I started teaching here. I'm like, forget about the grammar, okay? Yes. All right, fine. Yes. It's important. But if you speak well and you have no idea of the grammar, I'll hire you, right? Like if you know how to communicate and you're like maybe not a grammar expert, you sound good, but you're not a grammar expert like most normal people, guess what? You got the job. So don't get caught up in the grammar is what I'm saying. Sometimes I know in Spain that, that's the reason, Vaughn came about in the first place, because Richard said, I had a country here of people who knew the grammar better than any native English speaker, but then they couldn't say 2 sentences together. Bueno, sí, my tailor is rich and my mother's in the kitchen. And is that some kind of cruel joke or something? ¿Es algún tipo de chiste cruel? Speaking of jokes.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
That's right, amigos. That's right. You're joking, only on the show with no name. And as always, here's where we're going to take a look at some jokes. And hopefully you guys will get these jokes. These jokes have to do with sweets. Well, I figured we were talking about sweet spots. What about the dentist? Oh, dentists and sweets. Some people say they don't mix. Que no hacen juego. Pero yes, they do. If you don't eat sweets, you don't get cavities as much. And so dentists say, eat sweets. No, I'm joking. They need sweets. And I was thinking about it, even though there's an episode of, and a chapter/episode of English Everywhere on dentists, I don't have an FYI on dentists yet. But I do have one on one of everybody's favorite sweets, one that isn't really my cup of tea, and that's chocolate, baby. This delicious, delectable dessert can be done up and diverse ways. It comes in a vast range of varieties and flavors, from bold and bitter to sickly sweet. Some folks with a sweet tooth are downright addicted to this timeless, tasty treat. Join me as we check out chocolate on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
En inglés.
You got it. That's right, folks. For your English, FYI, my self-produced podcast. I can't believe how many downloads. I can't believe how many episodes. And I can't believe that I keep getting amazing feedback. So thank you, guys. Because as you know, nobody's paying me to do the podcast. It's the people in my community who support. The reason you have FYI is because somebody is helping me produce. Many people, over 90 people are helping me produce FYI. So a big thanks to everybody in my Patreon community. Seriously, hey, you guys should thank them too. If you're in it, great, thank you. And if you're not, thank them, because if not, I don't get paid for FYI and I don't necessarily have free time. So the fact that there are producers, as they're called, patrons within us, that makes that possible. The fact that you guys spread the word and you share our posts with Vaughn, or you tell your friends, mira, hay una radio, that is where the magic happens. And if you enjoy this free content, spread the word. It's a very easy way to say thank you, and we greatly appreciate it. I know I can speak on behalf of all of us. All right, let's take a look at today's jokes over here and see if you get them. I told a joke about candy bars. Yeah, but everyone just snickered. No, I didn't. No. I told a joke about candy bars and everybody just snickered. Do you guys like Snickers? Now, here, my wife and I, we have this debate. I'll tell you about it right now. Because I'm like, I don't like chocolate. And my daughter's not a big chocolate fan either. And then she's like, but you're eating a Twix. But you're eating a Kit Kat. I'm like, chocolate is not the main ingredient. You understand? When people say double chocolate, explosion, extreme cake, I'm like, get it away from me. I don't want it. Now, if you're like, it's a cookie dipped in some light chocolate, you're like, oh, okay, now that's nice. So I like chocolate when it's not the main part. That's the story there. All right. Well, Snickers, which is crazy. I think about 5-10 years ago, I remember when I was a kid, you guys didn't have Snickers. And Snickers really satisfies. Well, that's what they tell us in their ad. That's their motto. Snickers really satisfies. But to snicker is also to laugh snidely, disimuladamente. Una risita. It's like a quiet little laugh. So you get it now, Snickers? So I told a joke about candy bars and everyone just snickered. Oh, and did you hear about the candy cane that won the lottery? Yeah, there was a candy cane that won the lottery, and he was minted. Minted, flavored with mint. Minted means you have a lot of money. Forrado, mint. Well, think about it. You know where money is made? In a mint. La fábrica donde se hace dinero, casa de tal, is called a mint. So if you're minted, think about it. No es de la menta de, this is nice and fresh, minty flavor. No, I'm talking about minted. Come from a mint where money is made. So you get it now? He was minted. Okay. So I'm trying to get over, I don't know if I told you guys about this. I have an addiction here, okay? I love ice cream. By the way, there's an FYI episode on ice cream too. It's a great time to hear that kind of stuff because it'll cool you off just by listening to it. I will warn you, you're going to crave an ice cream. Vas a tener el mono. So same thing when you listen to the pizza episode, the beer episode, make sure you have whatever the topic is nearby. I've tried it and I had to open a beer during the beer episode. I had to order a pizza after the pizza episode. So trust me, I know. Okay, but right now I'm trying to get over my chocolate, nuts, and marshmallow addiction. Yeah. Well, I have an addiction to those three things when they're together. Yeah. chocolate, que fijaos en la pronunciación, no es chocolate, sino chocolate. And the second word, nuts, nueces, frutos secos, and marshmallows, you call them nubes. Yeah, so I'm trying to get over that addiction of chocolate, nuts, and marshmallows, but it's a rocky road. No, it's a rocky road. Well, you know this one? If you've seen the Goonies, you know this one. Rocky Road? That's what Sloth says when he says, what kind of ice cream do you want? When he's with Chunk in the Goonies, he goes, Rocky Road? Well, Rocky Road is a kind of ice cream that's made with nuts, marshmallows, and chocolate. It's also, you can make cookies out of it. It's a mix. I don't like it. People love it, though. But it's a rocky road. Es un camino difícil. So I'm trying to get over, superar, my chocolate, nuts, and marshmallow addiction. It's a rocky road. Se llama esa combinación rocky road. It's a rocky road. Es un camino difícil. All right. Last one. I do love popcorn. I can live on popcorn. Seriously. When I go to the movies, I'm like, go easy, dude. Like, I have to sit down with myself. I got to look myself in the mirror in the bathroom and say, don't get the big one because you'll eat it. And I will. And I will definitely eat it. But my question is, who's in charge of the popcorn? The Colonel. The Colonel? No? Well, colonel se dice en inglés americano Colonel. Colonel. And K-E-R-N-E-L, that's la semilla es una semilla, a kernel of truth. There were popcorn kernels all over the sofa. You get it? So who's in charge of the popcorn? The Colonel? El Coronel Semilla. All right. We'll move on, amigos. It's time for famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Birthdays for me. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Birthdays for her. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. The first person was born in 1947. And he was the drummer of the English rock group Sweet. You might know them from the song Funny, Funny, maybe Ballroom Blitz. I love that one. And the man in the back said, everyone attack, and it turned into a ballroom blitz, ballroom blitz. You've also got Fox on the Run. You got some really, really cool songs, and they're pretty sweet. We looked at that word before. Molonas, chula. They're pretty sweet. They're pretty sweet. Number 2, born in 1935 today, a Canadian actor and producer who's been in movies since the early 70s. MASH, Kelly's Heroes, Animal House, Ordinary People, and more recently, The Italian Job, Cold Mountain, Pride and Prejudice, and also The Hunger Games. And last but not least, I'm just going to give you a little rhythm. I can't do it as well, but you called it the fantastic car. Come on. Seriously? It's like saying the cool car, the sweet car. Like, ¿dónde está la, I don't know, Knight Rider, de noche, caballero? There's like a double meaning there. You missed that there. In English, it's Knight Rider. And of course, you got Michael Knight, que tiene todo el sentido del mundo, and Kit, which is the name of the car. Dime que no le cambiasteis el nombre a Quitaldo or something. Please, no. Oh, and he was also in Baywatch. And this guy's got like a cult following, I would say. But he's been in many movies as well, not just in those shows. All right, well, our famous birthday boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, number one, Mick Tucker from the group Sweet, the drummer. Number two, Donald Sutherland, Kiefer's dad. And number three, the Hoff, David Hasselhoff. And that's going to bring us over to our Say What soundbite. This is David Hasselhoff when he first realizes that Kit can talk, que su coche puede hablar. And he goes, all right, might as well put on some music. So he's in the car, he's putting on music, and he says, all these weird gadgets, you think they'd give you a radio, ¿no? Tienes tanta cosa, tantos artilugios aquí, que pensarías que al menos te darían una radio. And then Kit says, what would you like to hear? And he goes, what the hell was that? He got scared. He was startled. He goes, do you wish further information on Silicon Valley? Because that's where they were going. And he goes, no. I want to know who you are and how you're listening in. Quiero saber quién eres y cómo me estás espiando. To listen in on. Cuidado que tiene dos preposiciones. He was listening in on our conversation. Here is Michael Knight and Kit.
All right. Might as well put on some music. All these weird gadgets, you think they'd give you a radio?
What would you like to hear?
What the hell was that?
Do you wish further information on Silicon Valley?
Hell no, I want to know who you are and how you're listening in.
All right, folks, and it's time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name, name that lyric, only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name, it's name that lyric, only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric. All right. Jesus says, hi, friend. Are you still on air? Is almost August. Esa pregunta vamos a arreglarla. Are you still on the air most of August? No, not at all. In fact, as I said earlier, you probably didn't hear it. This is the final stretch, baby. Friday is our last live show, and I'm Audi 5000. I'll be posting, but not very much. So I need a vacation personally. So you guys have tons of content on FYI and Show With No Name to keep you busy. Let's take a look at today's Name That Lyric. This is a great song. It's Fox on the Run by Sweet. And if you haven't heard this song, it is sweet. It goes, I don't want to know your name, 'cause you don't look the same the way you did before. Hey, you think you got a pretty face, but the rest of you is out of place. Fox on the run. Zorra o zorro a la fuga. Fox on the run. It's an awesome song. If you haven't heard it, let's sing it together. Google Fox on the Run by the group Sweet. And if you haven't heard the song, I think you're going to think it's sweet. I don't want to know your name, 'cause you don't look the same